Hello, everyone. Your girl Tay here, and I'm bringing you another Let's Talk Wild podcast episode. Today is October 19th, 2023, and this is episode 46 Bats in Pop Culture. Not only is it spooky season, but it's Bat Appreciation Month. With over 1,400 species of bats, it's fitting for them to have the entire month of October to celebrate. I know they get a bad rep, but today we'll discuss some bat facts and the famous bats in pop culture. But before we get into that, make sure you guys follow and subscribe to the podcast on all podcasting and social media platforms. Sign up to become a podcast member. You could go to my podcast website to sign up. I'll have the link in the description box. Also, hit to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and check out the videos over there once you're done listening over here. You guys already know the drill. Now, let's talk why. How is everyone? I hope everyone had a great week. We're starting the podcast off with me thanking everyone that showed the last episode some love when I talked about animal species, trans species, fairies, therans, otherkins. Like, I've been getting some great positive feedback from the furry community and the theran community on Twitter. So shout out to everyone sending positive energy. There was some bad apples in the bunch, but ain't nothing but a quick block. But then somebody, they got blocked on Twitter, so they came over to the Instagram and kept posting the same thing. Honey, if you're listening to this, you are restricted, so no one will see your comment but me. I can approve it or I can deny it, but I'm gonna deny it. So stop wasting your time writing these paragraphs, okay? It's all about how you come at a person. Like, if you're being positive, leading with love and understanding, I'm all for listening. But you're coming out, trying to come for me and, cursing me out and doing the most when it's not, that serious. Like, calm down, okay? You get your little fur up in a tizzy. Just relax, okay? It's all love. Shout out to the Theran community. They were showing me mad love on Twitter, and they gave me some clarification on certain things. So shout out to them. And in the future, I may have a Theran come on to the show to share their story, okay? So yes, now let's talk wild. Before the whole COVID-19 fiasco, people were already on edge with the bats because they can have and pass along rabies. But after COVID-19, the bats have been, just catching major L's, okay? Their species has been tarnished even more because the virus was thought to have come from a bat species because the other two coronaviruses originated in bats. But according to the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, the origin of SARS-CoV-2, which caused the COVID-19 pandemic, has not been identified. The scientific evidence thus far suggests that SARS-CoV-2 likely resulted from viral evolution in nature and jumped to people or through some unidentified animal host. End quote. Okay, so they can transmit different zoonotic viruses. But the bats have done our ecosystem some good. Let's not forget. Let's not dwell only on the bad. Let's talk the good they done as well. Y'all want to always nitpick and pick out the negative in a situation. No, we're here to discuss the great things they've done for us, okay? What have you done for me lately? Word to Janet Jackson, okay? Period, the queen. They help with pest control, plant pollination, and seed dispersal. According to Bat Conservation International, scientists estimate that insect-eating bats may save U.S. farmers roughly $23 billion each year by reducing crop damage and limiting the need for pesticides. The nectar-feeding bats that drink the flower's nectar pick up pollen and move it along to other flowers as they feed. And the fruit bats have helped with spreading fruit seeds through their feces. Of course, they love their fruit, it's coming out in their rear, and the cycle continues. Speaking of fruit bats, we know bats are labeled as creatures of the night. But there are some that don't mind the daytime. Instead of being nocturnal, they are diurnal and are usually the species of bats that look like flying foxes, like the Egyptian fruit bats. They've been seen in urban environments in Israel being active during the day. Bats being able to use echolocation during the day has always been a debate. For those who don't know, echolocation helps bats navigate and find food. They send out high pitched sounds with their larynx, noses, tongues, or wings, and when the sounds hit something, the sound bounces back to the bat, which they can pick up with their ears and determine the layout of its environment, its food size, and its location. Research published in Current Biology in 2022 revealed that Egyptian fruit bats used echolocation with their tongues during the day in broad daylight. They recorded 500 bats, with 72% of them being recorded using echolocation when outside. The bats used echolocation when emerging from their colony, flying near trees, landing on branches, and taking off from trees. So be mindful, the creatures come out at night and during the day. Before we get into the second half of the show, I want to remind you to sign up to become a Let's Talk Wild member. You could go to my podcast website on Buzzsprout to sign up. I'll have the link in the description box. Also, make sure you subscribe to Let's Talk Wild on YouTube and follow on all podcasting and social media platforms. Now, let's fly back into the show. Cue the animals. The bat Pokemon species Zubat uses echolocation. It emits ultrasonic waves from its mouth to check its surroundings. It was one of Brock's Pokemon when the anime was released. It traveled and trained with him and eventually evolved into Golbat, and then its final form Crobat. I've been shiny hunting Zubat since it was put in Pokemon Go in July of 2019. So I've been hunting for this Pokemon, the shiny coloration, for a very long time, and I'm over it. I'm like, whatever. It's new bats. It introduced new bats in town that the Pokemon community love. Once Generation 6 rolled around, Noibat in its final form, Noivern, became the most popular bat-inspired Pokemon. They have the dual typing of flying and dragon, and their designs and shiny colorations quickly became a favorite among the Poke fandom. Multiple Pokédex entries have described Noivern as a violent Pokemon that flies around on moonless nights, attacking anything it sees with the ultrasonic waves that it emits from its ears, and finishes the fight with its fangs. But despite having this aggressive nature, it doesn't like daylight, and it can be tamed by giving it the ripe fruit that it loves. So basically, a fruit-loving dragon based on a bat. Okay, Ash had a Noivern in the Pokemon XY anime, and he hated apples. When it was just a Noibat, he used his ultrasonic waves to tell if the apples were good or bad. Listen, I know some people probably wish they could use some ultrasonic waves before a meal, before they spend their money, okay? It would save them some time, money, and their taste buds. Look, but I'm cracking up because how are you going to be picky when you're traveling with your trainer who's been trying to become a Pokemon master, and you guys are traveling for days and battling all these types of trainers and Pokemon? Boy, if you don't sit down and eat this apple, you know what? He probably scanned that apple and it had pesticides. He was like, absolutely not. Apples are basic. It got pesticides on there in the Pokemon world. I don't want it. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. You want me at my very best, like no one ever was. I can't eat apples because of the pesticides. Absolutely not. Now, let's get into the jewelry thief, Rogue, the bat from Sonic X, okay? She's a white bat with black wings and a heart-shaped bosom, serving body and face with her makeup, the white gloves, and honey, the knee-high boots. I'm definitely going to have to cosplay her one of these days, or I may make a rave outfit when I go to a festival or a rave. I might do a rave inspired fit. I don't know. We'll see. But she's very mysterious, girl. Honey, are you a Scorpio? Listen, Scorpios, just a couple of more days until Scorpio season. I hope you guys are ready. Rogue is agile, strong, and a great fighter. But being a bat comes with having sensitive ears. So she can be weakened with ultrasonic sound waves. Listen, this Sonic anime used to come on early in the morning and I would watch it. And now, like with Sonic, like any Sonic video games I may play, she's usually a choosable character. And of course, I always choose her. I know I was doing some, what was it? Sonic Racing. Like it's like Mario Kart, but the Sonic version. I really like that, and I have her car. It's so pretty. And I be hooking her the car up, the whip up, having my girl out there looking real good, okay, in the whip, pulling up. So I love it. I love her. I'm definitely going to cosplay her for sure. Now, let's quickly talk about bats making history. According to Bat Conservation International, Mexican free-tailed bats in San Antonio's Bracken Cave is Earth's largest known colony of bats, with an estimated total of over 20 million. Wow, that's a lot of bats. Uh-huh. Now, bats in caves, that leads us to the bat of all bats, the icon, the legend, the Dark Knight, the Batman. There have been different variants of Batman in films, TV, and animation, but my favorite is Batman the Animated Series. The voice actor who played the voice was Kevin Conroy, who passed away on November 10th, 2022. I was extremely sad because I used to watch the animated series during my long insomnia nights growing up. Like as a kid, having insomnia, those nights would be like really lonely. So like cartoons and anime was just like my go-to. So his voice was so relaxing to me. He's the voice forever, and I want to have a moment of silence for him and the voice actor for Harley Quinn of the Batman animated series and various Batman animations and things like that. Harley Quinn, Arlene Sorkin, who passed away this year on August 24th. Let's have a moment of silence for them, please. My peeps gone, man. It's sad, but we're gonna keep their names alive and remember everything they've done for the community and for animation. And that's what we're doing now, showing them love and informing you guys. Now, some people have asked what bats are living in the Bat Cave and keeping Batman company when he's locked away, obsessing over how he can catch the Joker over and over again. Gotham City is based on New Jersey, and some of the bats from New Jersey that dwell in caves are the eastern small-footed bats, the little brown bats, and the big brown bats. Look, little brown, big brown, whatever. We brown, we bats, and whatever. Tomato. In the Dark Knight Rises novelization, it identified the species as North American brown bats, also known as the little brown bats. These bats are often seen by people in real life. The Batman fandom doesn't believe that the little brown was the bat that crashed through Bruce Wayne's window when he was trying to think of a disguise because it was identified as being huge. So that bat might have been the big brown bat. But nonetheless, the window bat is iconic because it's the reason why Batman chose his disguise to be a bat in the first place. He wanted the criminals to fear him. And the bat did just that. I want to end the podcast by reading a poem that I wrote a while back. It's called Nights with Brother Bat. The sun is setting and the moon is beginning to rise. The birds leave, but something is flying around to my surprise. I look up and try to follow the aerial acrobats in the sky. It does some skillful swoops and some major high dives. I finally realize it's Brother Bat, happy that the night has come. I scan the sky for more, but he's the only one. I finally get to my house, but I can't leave him outside alone. I run in, drop my bag, and yell to my family that I'm finally home. Dashing back outside because the show Brother Bat is giving shouldn't be missed. For we both enjoy the nights. We are blessed by the moon's kiss. Sitting on my porch, I continue to watch Brother Bat dance in the moonlight. Everything was wrong during the day, but at that very moment, everything seemed so right. My stress level decreases as Brother Bat and Mother Earth take me on this nightly journey. I want to enjoy the show, so I let go of my doubts, fears, and worries. The crickets are our orchestra, and they never miss a note or are off key. I sit and say a thankful prayer to Brother Bat to myself softly. It's been a long day, and I want to show my appreciation for his generosity. Despite what the world says about him, I love him genuinely. I know Brother Bat gets a bad rep, but a bat is a bat, and he can't help that. He continues to dance as his shadow dances on the walls. I sit with amazement as I appreciate him, flaws and all. That night, Brother Bat taught me valuable lessons. Dance during my dark times, dance with my darkness, for these are all blessings. When you're able to conquer it, flying through it will come with ease. If I ever struggle with it, I'll remember Brother's Bat lessons he's taught me. But for now, I get to enjoy the view. In the future, I hope you learn to dance with your darkness too. Tay. Thank you for the applause. Thank you, animals. Thank y'all. Okay, that's a Tay original, a Let's Talk Wild original. Y'all know I love poetry. Poetry was my thing. Like, oh my goodness, y'all have no idea. I'm gonna get back into writing poetry dedicated to animals. You know, sometimes when I do the podcast, I might write one up, type one up, but then I'll take it out the podcast. But I'll share more for sure. But how do you guys feel about today's topic, bats in pop culture? Leave a comment on the Let's Talk Wild Instagram page and YouTube channel. Make sure you guys follow and subscribe to the podcast on all podcasting and social media platforms. Don't forget that you can now support the pod by joining the monthly membership subscription. You could go to my podcast website on Buzzsprout to sign up. I'll have the link in the description box. Now, love yourself, one another, your pets, the animals, and the bats. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.